In the quiet halls of royal palaces, far from the public eye, life is not always what it seems. Behind the perfect smiles and formal waves, there are habits that feel deeply human and sometimes quite surprising. One queen was known to wake at the same early hour every single day, no matter where she was in the world. A prince preferred simple meals and avoided rich food, even when grand banquets were prepared in his honor. And a young royal once kept a small private ritual before every major public appearance, just to calm the mind. These small details may seem simple, yet they reveal something deeper. Royal life is built on duty, but it is also shaped by quiet routines. What do these habits tell us about the people behind the crowns? Why do such powerful figures hold on to such personal ways of living? In this story, we will explore 15 strange and fascinating private habits of royal family members. Some are charming, some are unusual, and a few may even change the way you see royalty forever. As we begin, take a moment to think about your own daily habits. If this story brings back memories or thoughts, feel free to share them. And if you enjoy calm stories like this, you may wish to subscribe so you do not miss future journeys into history. Many viewers also like to leave a small comment about which royal surprised them most. It helps others join the conversation in a warm and friendly way. Let us begin with a habit that may seem simple, yet carries great meaning. Queen Elizabeth II, according to her staff and biographers, followed a very strict daily routine. She woke early, often at the same time each morning, and began her day with a quiet moment and a cup of tea. The tea was always served in a very specific way. The cup had to be placed just right, and the tea had to be brewed for the correct amount of time. It was not about luxury, it was about order. Why would someone with so much power care about such small details? Perhaps because in a life full of public duty, small routines bring a sense of control. They offer peace in a world that is always watching. Now consider Prince Philip, her husband. He was known for his simple eating habits. While grand meals were often prepared, he preferred grilled fish, vegetables, and light dishes. According to reports from royal chefs, he did not enjoy heavy sauces or rich desserts. This may surprise many. Would you expect a royal prince to choose such simple food? Or does it show that comfort does not always come from luxury? Moving forward, we come to King Charles III, who has long been known for his unique personal habits. One of the most talked about details is his careful attention to his clothing. His shoelaces, his pens, even the way his clothes are pressed, all follow a precise standard. Some may see this as unusual, others may see it as discipline. When every day is planned and every action is watched, perhaps these details become a quiet way to feel grounded. If you find these small details interesting, you might enjoy sharing your thoughts below. Which habit feels most familiar to you? And which one feels most unusual? Next, we turn to Princess Diana, a figure loved by many around the world. Despite her royal position, she had a habit that felt very close to ordinary life. She often preferred to eat simple comfort food. According to those who knew her, she enjoyed dishes like stuffed peppers and light desserts. Yet there was more to her routine. She also made time for quiet reflection, often listening to music or spending moments alone. In a life filled with attention, these private pauses became very important. What does this tell us about her? Perhaps that even in great fame, the need for calm never fades. Then there is Prince William, who has spoken openly about keeping a sense of normal life. One of his habits is spending time cooking at home. He has shared that he enjoys preparing simple meals, especially for his family. This may sound ordinary, but for a future king it carries deeper meaning. It shows a desire to stay connected to everyday life. It raises a gentle question. Can a person live between two worlds, one royal and one ordinary? As we continue, we begin to see a pattern. These habits are not random. They are ways to stay balanced. Consider Catherine, Princess of Wales, who is known for her calm and thoughtful nature. She has a habit of staying physically active, often choosing outdoor walks and light sports. According to reports, she values fresh air and quiet movement. This may seem simple, yet it reflects something deeper. In a life filled with public events, these quiet moments offer strength. And what about younger royals? Do they follow the same path, or do they create new habits? As we move further into this story, the habits will become more surprising and sometimes more revealing. Each one offers a small window into a very private world. As we continue, the quiet patterns of royal life begin to reveal something more personal. These habits are not only about comfort, they often reflect history, pressure, and a deep sense of responsibility. Let us now look at Prince Harry, whose private habits have been widely discussed, especially in recent years. According to interviews and reports, he has spoken about the importance of mental calm. One of his habits includes taking time away from noise, often through meditation or quiet reflection. This became especially important after his military service and during times of personal stress. It raises a thoughtful question. When a person grows up in constant public attention, where do they find peace? For Harry, it seems that stepping away, even for a short time, became a necessary part of daily life. In contrast, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, brought her own habits into royal life. Before her marriage, she followed a lifestyle focused on wellness. She has shared that she values early mornings, light exercise, and mindful eating. Even after joining the royal family, reports suggest she tried to maintain some of these routines. This creates an interesting moment of contrast. When someone enters a world built on tradition, how much of their old life can they keep? And how much must they change? Moving back in time, we find Queen Victoria, a monarch whose habits were both strict and deeply emotional. After the death of her husband, Prince Albert, she entered a long period of mourning. She wore black clothing for the rest of her life and kept many of his belongings exactly as they were. Every day, his clothes were laid out as if he were still alive. This was not a public act. It was a private ritual repeated quietly for years. Such a habit may feel heavy to think about, yet it shows the depth of her grief. It reminds us that even the most powerful figures carry very human emotions. Now let us turn to King George VI, the father of Queen Elizabeth II. He had a habit that was less visible, but very important. He worked hard to manage his speech as he had a stammer. According to historians and the well-known story behind the king's speech, he practiced speaking daily, often in private. This routine required patience and courage. Each word, each sentence was part of a quiet effort to fulfill his role. It invites us to reflect. How many struggles remain unseen, even in the most public lives? If this part of the story speaks to you, you may wish to share your thoughts. Many viewers find these quieter details the most meaningful. And if you are enjoying this journey, subscribing can help you stay connected to more stories like this. Let us continue with Princess Margaret, the younger sister of Queen Elizabeth II. She was known for her lively personality, but she also had very distinct private habits. She preferred late evenings and was said to wake much later in the day compared to other royals. Her mornings often began slowly, with breakfast in bed and a gentle start. This stood in contrast to the strict routines of her sister. Why such a difference within the same family? Perhaps it shows that even within royal duty, personality still shapes daily life. Next, we look at Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who lived through many historic moments. She had a habit of maintaining a cheerful public image, but in private, she followed a structured social routine. Afternoon tea was never missed, and it was treated as an important daily event. This was not just about tea. It was about connection, tradition, and keeping a sense of normal life during difficult times, including war. It makes one wonder, do small rituals help people stay strong when the world feels uncertain? Now consider Prince Andrew, whose habits have often been described as highly structured. According to reports, he preferred very specific arrangements for his daily life, including how his personal items were organised. While some may view this as excessive, it again reflects a need for control in a life that is often unpredictable. As we move forward, we begin to see a deeper layer. These habits are not only personal choices, they are responses to a life that is constantly observed. Let us now turn to Prince Edward, the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth II. He is often described as more private and reserved. His habits reflect this nature. He is known to prefer quiet work, careful planning, and time away from the spotlight whenever possible. In a family so closely followed by the public, choosing privacy becomes a habit in itself. This brings us to an important thought. Is privacy the rarest luxury of all in royal life? As the story unfolds, the habits become even more revealing. Some will feel familiar, while others may seem quite unexpected. And yet each one brings us closer to understanding the people behind the titles. As we reach the final part of this journey, the habits we explore begin to feel more reflective, almost like quiet mirrors of a life lived under constant watch. These last stories carry a deeper tone. They are not only about routine, but about meaning. Let us begin with King Charles III once again, but this time with a more personal detail. According to long-time staff reports, he prefers handwritten letters over modern communication. Even in a world of instant messages, he takes time to write carefully, often with his own pen. This habit may seem old-fashioned, yet it carries a quiet message. Writing by hand slows the mind. It allows thought to settle. Could this be a way to stay connected to a more thoughtful pace of life? Then we turn to Camilla, Queen Consort, who is said to enjoy reading every evening before bed. This is not unusual, but the consistency is what stands out. No matter how busy the day, she keeps this small ritual. Books, after all, offer a private escape. In a life where privacy is rare, even a simple story can become a place of rest. Now consider Princess Anne, often described as one of the hardest working members of the royal family. Her habits reflect discipline and strength. She is known to follow a very direct routine, with little need for comfort or change. She rises early, keeps her schedule tight, and focuses strongly on her duties. Some may find this approach strong, almost unbending, but it raises a gentle thought. Does routine build strength, or does it protect from uncertainty? As we move further, we return to the younger generation. Prince George, though still a child, is already growing within a structured world. According to reports, his daily life includes a careful balance of education, play, and royal awareness. Even at a young age, habits begin to form. But what does it mean to grow up knowing that your life will always be watched? This question becomes even more meaningful when we think about Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. Their parents, Prince William and Catherine, are said to focus on giving them as normal a routine as possible. And simple meals, outdoor play, and family time are part of their daily lives. It is a quiet effort to shape a different future, one that holds both tradition and change. Now let us pause for a moment. Across all these lives, one thing becomes clear. Habits are not only about comfort, they are about identity. If you have been reflecting on these stories, you are not alone. Many viewers find themselves thinking about their own routines at this point. You are always welcome to share a memory or a habit that has stayed with you over the years. These small details often carry the deepest meaning, and if you have stayed with this story until now, you may wish to subscribe so we can continue exploring these quiet histories together. Let us now look at one final powerful example. Queen Elizabeth II, in her later years, continued to follow many of her lifelong habits. Even as age brought change, she held on to her routine. Her daily red boxes of state papers were still read carefully. Her quiet evenings remained structured. There is something deeply moving in this. A life that changed the world still returned each day to simple patterns. Why do these habits matter so much? Perhaps because they remind us that behind every title is a person who wakes up, who eats, who rests, who reflects, a person who finds comfort in small repeated actions. Royal life may appear distant, even grand, but these habits bring it closer. They show us that even in palaces, people search for calm, for meaning, and for a sense of self. As we come to the end, one final thought remains. In our own lives, we also build quiet routines. A morning cup of tea, in a walk in the evening, a moment of silence before sleep. These habits may seem small, yet they shape our days, and over time they shape who we become. The royals, in all their history and duty, are not so different in this way. And perhaps that is the most surprising truth of all.